Today, we have big news from Communist China, as the United States ping pong team has been invited to have a friendly meeting with the Chinese ping pong team. This meeting will break an isolation that has lasted over 20 years. After the successful meeting between the Chinese and American ping pong teams, there are reports that President Richard Nixon and Chinese Chairman Mao Zedong also have possible diplomatic meetings scheduled for the future. Next, we not only have exclusive footage from the ping pong matches themselves, but we have interviews of American and Chinese ping pong players, along with both President Richard Nixon and Chairman Mao Zedong. Now, up next, we have an exclusive over-the-phone interview with President Richard Nixon. Hello, Mr. President, are you there?
Hello!
So, what are you hoping to accomplish with these diplomatic ties with Communist China?
Hopefully, at the very least, we can establish economic and trade ties with the Chinese government. China is a very large nation and is rich in resources and opportunity. With the United States' capitalist presence, we can help Communist China become more democratic and more capitalist, helping their country grow.
Wow, very ambitious. Do you foresee any challenges in dealing with a country that has been your opponent of ours for so very long?
Yes, there definitely could be issues in dealing with China. For one, obviously, we have never had good relationships with communist countries in the past, and if China is unwilling to shift at all towards democracy and capitalism, that could definitely cause issues. Also, one large roadblock could be China's treatment towards Taiwan. Taiwan is probably the biggest issue between our two countries at this point.
How do you think the American people will react to our newfound friendship with a country we've disliked for so long?
Well, I could certainly see issues adjusting our attitudes towards China. However, when our economy is boosted due to our new diplomatic ties with China, our people will certainly rejoice.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President. Now, we have an exclusive over-the-phone interview with Chinese Chairman Mao Zedong. Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Hello.
So, what prompted you to contact the United States and to attempt to regain diplomatic ties?
Well, recently our relationship with fellow communists in the Soviet Union have faltered. They do not approve of the way we have been dealing with our country. The United States also had problems with the Soviets, so I thought it natural to attempt to become allies.
So would you say that the communists in the Soviet Union are a bigger threat to your own communism than democratic countries such as the United States?
Well, we agree with the United States in our belief that the nuclear power of the Soviet Union is currently the biggest threat to the peace in the world.
I see. Do you think that these new diplomatic ties with the United States will cause any policy changes in your country, specifically in terms of shifting away from communism?
Well, we are communist China, and we all fought years and years of grueling war for the collective and for communism. However, I am open to doing whatever I can help with my country and to help my brothers. We still believe that communism is the answer.
Thank you so much for having this on. Now, we're going to an on-site interview with two of the ping pong competitors.
Gentlemen, thanks for meeting with me. Today, we are fortunate enough to get an interview from Glenn Cowan and Zhang Zedong. Both of these talented men are soon to face off in our first ever World Table Tennis Championship here in Nagoya, Japan. Today will go down in history as the first diplomatic relation between these two powerful nations. First, we will go to Mr. Cowan. How does it feel to be part of such an important moment in history?
Honestly, it's great. I'm so grateful to be able to use my favorite sport to bridge a strong future partner in trading and all kinds of other stuff for the upcoming years. It's crazy to think that no American has set foot in Chinese soil for the past 20 years. I can't explain how excited I am to participate in the first World Table Tennis Championship.
That's great to hear. What are your intentions for this evening against Mr. Zedong here?
It'll definitely be an interesting match. From what I've heard, he is very skilled with the paddle.
Well, thank you for spending your time here today answering a few questions. I can't wait till that match tonight. Now to Mr. Zedong. What are your thoughts on today's match and the U.S.-China relations for the future?
I was a bit reluctant at first. I don't like those big capitalists across the sea, those Americans. they think they are so smart with their democratic ways, but I now agree that it was a smart decision to host this table tennis championship.
Who do you think's going to triumph in today's match?
Well, obviously me,
How can you be so sure?
because communism forever.
All right. And that concludes our interview with our table tennis player. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And see.
Some very interesting stuff. Now, we have some live footage from the actual event.
Wakanda forever.